Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is a little bit of a cold open today because I was editing this video that you're about to watch when I realized that I was missing two of my clips that I accidentally deleted from my SD card. So here we are, different day, different outfit, letting you know what this video is about. Today I'm going to be sharing 10 content ideas with you, and I intentionally designed these tips to go across all of the different formats on Instagram. So a lot of these videos usually talk about feed posts, and I have made videos in the past with ideas for your Instagram feed and Instagram stories, but in this video we're talking Instagram feed, stories, reels, IGTV, and live stream ideas. So this really goes across all the different content that you might want to make on your Instagram. I've got two ideas for each, so make sure you watch to the very end. And once again, sorry for this janky intro, but sometimes it be like that. So without further ado, let's get into the 10 content ideas for when you don't know what to post.
For my first suggestion, I have an idea for a feed post. Share a before and after carousel post to your feed. These kinds of posts always get huge engagement because people find it really satisfying to see the journey from A to B. This could be a decor transformation, so your bedroom before and after you did a fall makeover, or it could be an outfit transformation before and after you styled your outfit with accessories, or it could be a makeup transformation. There's so many different ways you can do this. Honestly, I think the reason why this is so effective is because it tells a story in a visual way. People see that a journey happened here. We started here, and then we got here, and it's satisfying and it's interesting, and it's a way to pull people into your life in a really fun way. It also allows you to create a really impactful caption about the change that happened. What did you learn that allowed you to go from A to B? What changed in your life to take you from A to B, etc. This type of post is something that I love to use in my own content as well as content for my clients. One of my clients, Home Renovision DIY, which is a YouTube channel all about how to renovate for yourself. We manage their Instagram, and once a week on Instagram, we share their subscribers' transformations when they've renovated their homes. And these posts are always the top performing because people love to see a transformation from an old dingy basement to something that's beautiful and functional. I had a post perform really well when I used this format, and I actually showed my body or my weight transformation, but in a different way than you would normally expect. So I showed my kind of skinny high school self versus myself now. And in the post, I talked about how, from when I was 18 to now, I gained more than just weight and why I don't actually regret being a bigger size now, unlike what people would usually assume. So there's so many interesting and personal stories that you can tell with a before and after post, and it always grabs people's attention. Number 2, make a day in the life vlog and post it as an IGTV. If you're not ready to fully dive in with a YouTube channel yet, then this is a great way to experiment with some longer form video content that I think your followers would be really interested in. You can actually make these quite easily with different mobile video editing apps like Adobe Rush or KineMaster, or even TikTok if you're okay with making it just a minute long. For people that are used to just seeing your selfies, or maybe you sitting at your desk or just your face on Instagram stories, it can be really fun to show people a different look into your life and the different things that you do throughout the day. I know it might seem intimidating to make something that's more complex than you're used to, but I promise you, if you just dive in and try it, making a mini vlog is really not as hard as it seems. And actually, if you're curious about doing it in TikTok, I have a tutorial that I made all about how to make a vlog in TikTok, so you can check that out next. Idea number 4 is actually an Instagram Live workshop on something that your audience wants to know more about. Fun thing about Instagram Lives is that it allows you to go for a longer period of time. It's probably the longest form content on Instagram. And it's also a really great way to interact with your audience in real time. So this is the first time that you're doing this. I would recommend thinking about what are some of those topics that your audience is always asking questions about. What's something that you do that they would want to learn how to do, and how can you teach it to them in an effective way? Do a live workshop on that topic. You can even use images as a slideshow in the background of your Instagram Live. I discovered this recently, and it's really fun because it allows you to do more than just sit and talk to the camera. You can actually show visuals that explain what you're talking about. The benefit of doing it live is that you can actually answer clarifying questions that your audience has as you go, so you can get deeper into whatever topic they're specifically interested in, and you can provide further details that you might not have known they'd be asking. This is a really high value piece of content, and it's fun to do it live, and it has the added bonus of you can save it as an IGTV, which gives you 2 pieces of content in one. Number 4 is an idea for your stories, and that is to do a story time. Now, story time is a genre that is generally associated with YouTube, and that is because it can can kind of get a little long. They can kind of drag on sometimes. But this is the challenge for you. I want you to take the idea of a story time concept and make it super quick. Like, I am talking 1 minute, maybe 1 minute and 30 seconds. You do not want this thing to be longer than 6 different Instagram story slides. But I want you to think about this from the context of telling a personal story from your life. Like, think you're standing at a party chatting with some new people and you think of something funny that happened to you that you want to share. So often, many of us pick up our phones to record an Instagram story and we say something like, hey, just wanted to jump on here and let you guys know that I've got a new YouTube video, swipe up to watch it. So many Instagram stories have so little substance. Like, you hardly get anything out of it because it's mostly just somebody trying to give an update to their audience, which there is a time and place for. But I want you to get your followers to trust that your stories are going to have something interesting to contribute to their day. And a great way to do that is by sprinkling in some story times here and there. I know this can be kind of hard to think of because we always think that we have a more boring life than we do, but I want to encourage you to just write down anytime you kind of remember a funny story from your youth or, from last week or whatever. Just jot it down, and then that'll be inspiration for you to make an Instagram story about it sometime. So I'll give you an example. Most recently, I have been kind of going through a Harry Styles phase again, and so I was rewatching this One Direction movie called This Is Us, and it reminded me of the time when I was a teenager that my parents took me to see One Direction, but they were just the opening act for Big Time Rush, and so my friends and I left after they finished performing, and we were running around the streets of Toronto trying to find their tour bus so that we could meet them. And then my parents found us running around the street and were like, you're going home. I thought this was a funny story, and it kind of demonstrates my personality as a teenager as well as now, actually. And so the challenge was to tell this story in like a minute or less and post it as an Instagram story, and I thought it was pretty well received. I mean, I think it's funny. So try to think of a funny story from your own life that maybe demonstrates your personality or shows a little bit about how you respond in situations, and tell it on Instagram.
For number 3, we're back to future Katie because somehow I lost this clip as well.
And do you think I can get any of the numbers right in this video? This has been like the biggest struggle of a YouTube video. This is obviously number 5.
This idea for Instagram content is for Reels, and that is to make a cute transition video that pertains to your brand in some way. I think a lot of people right now are kind of lost as to what to do with Instagram Reels. I see a lot of the same sort of bland Reels content of people shimmying around to some fun music track and pointing at different text. And so I want to encourage you to be a little bit more creative than that and do something that's going to stand out a little bit more to people that are scrolling through the Explore page. And so one way you can do that is with a transition video. People love transition videos for the same reason people love before and afters, like I was talking about before. It's satisfying to see what the change is going to be. If you notice any popular TikTok trend, there's always a twist. It starts out a way that you think you expect what's happening, and then it changes, makes it more fun, makes it more memorable. But the challenge here is to come up with a transition that actually makes sense to your brand and to your content. Someone who I think has done an amazing job at this is Natasha from Soul Studio. I love Natasha's content. If you listen to my podcast, then you've heard me interview her, and she's just super talented. She's kind of a guru when it comes to Instagram Reels, so I would definitely recommend checking her profile for that. She's done some really fun transition videos, and she really strikes the balance between using popular trends and stuff that's visually interesting and also making it relevant to her brand and her business. Even if you can't think of something specifically related to your actual business, your offerings, the way you make money, it's okay to make content that is just kind of brand adjacent. So for instance, I make Reels in a series that I call Pinterest, but make it mid-size, which is inspired by the fact by pretty much all the fashion content you see on Pinterest is on smaller size bodies. And so I take those outfits, I put them on my size 14 body, and I film videos of what it looks like. And that has been very well received. My followers and other people on the Explore page seem to really like it. And I'm not a fashion blogger at all. Nothing of what I do is really about fashion, but I do talk about body confidence and loving yourself, and so it is still brand adjacent. And so for this idea, I just want to challenge you to think creatively, try to push yourself out of your comfort zone and do something that's going to be very visually interesting, and don't just rely on the same old Reels tropes that every other entrepreneur or coach is doing on Instagram.
Number 6 is another feed post idea for you, and that is creating a tweet graphic to share to your feed. Now here's the trick. You don't actually have to have tweeted whatever you're going to post. You can create a graphic that just looks like it's a screen cap of a tweet. I know that sounds kind of scammy, but that's what I've done before, because to be honest, I don't use Twitter at all. I had to get off there a while ago because it wasn't making me happy. So I stopped using it, and now I just make my tweets in Photoshop, and then I save that as a graphic to post on Instagram. You can also do this in Canva in a really easy way. All you really need to do is combine some text, your username, and then a little circle of your profile picture, and you're good to go. Just make sure you use a simple font like Arial or Helvetica or something like that, and it'll look pretty convincing. But the reason why I suggest you do this is because these kinds of posts are super shareable. If you just tap through your stories and try to pause every time you see a post that has been shared from somebody's feed, you'll notice that probably a lot of them are in this tweet style format. They're usually written in the first person. They usually have some kind of strong directive or instruction or some kind of opinion they're expressing. And when people agree with that and want to pass that information along to their followers, then they'll share it to their story. So try to think of a specific message that you'd want to share with your followers. If you're not sure where to start, then this prompt might help you. Tell your audience what you wish you would have known when you were getting started in the industry you're in. So for myself, I would say, what do I wish I would have known getting started as a YouTuber or getting started as a social media manager? What's the one thing that would have been helpful for me to know, but I didn't? Try to use that prompt to write your first tweet graphic and see how it goes. Number 7, make a tutorial video for IGTV based on one of your frequently asked questions. As creators and business owners, we all have those commonly asked questions that are always sitting in our DMs. And a really great way to answer those questions is to actually create a tutorial video. And then not only are you creating a piece of content for your Instagram, but it's also a really great way to answer those questions in the future, because you can just share that post to whoever is asking. So when I put this to you right now, think about what your very first automatic response is. What is something that people are always asking you how to do? I'm sure something came to mind for you, because we all have that thing that we're particularly good at or people know us for, so we're always getting questions about it. For me, there's a lot of different questions surrounding Instagram, how to do stuff on Instagram, and so I've got lots of videos answering those questions. So make an IGTV to answer those people, and you've got a great piece of content. Number 8 is to recreate your favorite TikTok trend and post it as an Instagram reel. Let's be honest, we all know that the best short form video trends and ideas are still coming from TikTok. So pick out your favorite audio or trend that you've been seeing recently, and then literally just make it in TikTok and then post it to Reels. If you want to be able to post it to Reels without having that TikTok logo bouncing around, what you can do is actually just screen record the preview of your TikTok, and then once you're finished screen recording it, you can open it up in your camera roll and trim the ends, or you can trim the ends when you're uploading it as an Instagram Reel as well. I personally like to do this, to be honest, because I find that the Reels editing features are not that great. And it's a really easy way to just use an audio from TikTok. I promise you, if you do this, this will probably perform way better than any kind of bland Reels idea that you come across, because I'm telling you, all the best ideas are still coming from TikTok. Plus, if you're choosing something that has already gone viral for a bunch of other people, then it's kind of market proven to potentially go viral for you too. Some people might call it cheating, I call it efficiency. So just repost your TikTok to Reels. Content idea number 9 is for your Instagram stories, and that is to do a Q&A. Honestly, I got this idea from Catherine Manning, who is a YouTuber that I'm sure many of you also subscribe to. I follow her on Instagram, and once a week she does a Q&A with her followers. It's a really fun way to dive into whatever topics your followers are specifically interested in at that time. And it's an easy way to create content for the day, because you don't have to try to think of what you want to say to people. You just answer their questions. The one thing I'll remind you of here is you need to make sure that you put your question box out on your stories a day before you want to actually do it, so then your followers have time to submit their questions. So if you want to do your Q&A on Thursday, make sure that you put your question box on your story sometime during the day on Wednesday. To make the most of this content, content, if you find that you're getting a lot of questions or the same type of questions quite frequently, you can actually save those story responses to a highlight and you could title it FAQ, or you could eventually sort your answers to these questions into different highlights based on the different subjects people are asking about. Just make sure to keep it short and make sure that you are captioning all of your stories, because most people are not listening with the audio. So make sure that you type out a general sense of whatever your answer is as text on the screen so that everybody can see what your answer is. Idea number 10 is do a live walkthrough of a regular process in your business or in your life. This is super fun because it's a different approach to a live stream than most people do on Instagram. Lots of people use Instagram Lives to do Q&As, which is totally fine and can be fun to watch as well. But you hardly ever see live streams where people are actually taking the camera with them, setting it up in different places, showing themselves doing different things. So this can be a really fun take on the traditional Instagram Live, and it answers questions for people. People are probably curious about those really frequent processes in your business or your life that you can provide some insight to. So as an example for me as a social media educator, something that I've done on live before is do a live walkthrough of how I design my thumbnails for YouTube. It's kind of like a tutorial, but it's more personable because they're seeing it in real time, whereas if I would make a tutorial about that, I would definitely speed up the process to make it more efficient. But they can see your thought process as you're doing something that you're good at or is a part of your regular life. If you're a lifestyle creator, you could do a live stream showing your everyday makeup routine or your skincare routine, or you could show how you cook your favorite food. There's so many possibilities for this. You just need to get a little bit creative about how you're going to position your camera to capture the action. If you don't already have one, I would recommend grabbing a tripod that can hold up your phone. This is the one that I like to use. It's really inexpensive. I got it on Amazon and I'll link it in the description below. And those are my 10 content ideas for your Instagram. I hope you enjoyed this video. Now, when it comes to posting all of this content, it's important that you use the right hashtags. So if you like this video, I'm sure you will also enjoy this one that I made all about creating a really effective hashtag strategy for your brand. So make sure you go watch this video next. Of course, before you head over there, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you over here. Okay, bye.